I need somebody to tell me how I'm supposed to make it in today's economy.
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living?
Is everybody broke right now? Like everybody? Are we all in tight spots right now?
How do people afford to live?
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Make Gains. Today we're going to be talking about the crazy cost of living.
I need somebody to tell me how I'm supposed to make it in today's economy. Bruh, it's so high. You can't, it's hard to go grocery shopping. I mean, you go in the store with say $300. You ain't coming out with much. And I remember back in the day, if you were shopping with that, you had a buggy full of meat, shrimp, steaks, enough, to last a while. Now, $300 might get you 6 little bags. That's pitiful, man. Something's got to change. The gas prices is still high. What happened, man? Something got to change. We can't make it. How are we gonna make it?
I think a lot of people are feeling this right now because it does feel like inflation has slowed, but cost of goods aren't coming down. We're still feeling this for the last 5 years, and our raises have not kept up with inflation. So it really does feel like, even though a lot of people were making more than they were 5 years ago, the felt wages are less, which is really tough. If you're making minimum wage, I don't know how you can make it these days. It would be next to impossible.
Have y'all ever heard the saying, living paycheck to paycheck? Well, if you don't know what I'm talking about, let me put it in perspective for you. I had $1.83 in my bank. I just swiped credit at the gas pump so I could get $10 for gas because I was on E. Hopefully in 2 business days, I get that $10 back in my account because my bank does not play, man. They charged me $40 in overdraft fees because I was overdrafted 7 pennies. I ain't even playing it. Banks do not mess around with their money, even if it's 7 pennies.
I've been there where you're scraping by and having to put a few dollars in when you're at empty. I remember collecting quarters out of the couch just to be able to get a gallon of gas. But yeah, that's a tough spot. And she's got kids in the car. And I think there are so many fees, especially with bank overdraft fees, credit card late payment fees, and especially with credit cards. Be careful, folks. As soon as you're late, if you had a promotional interest rate, they jack that up. They do not play around.
I'm making more money than I've ever made in my adult life right now. And this is the first time that I've had to budget. You can say you're spoiled, whatever. I've just done well, and my husband does well. We don't live in a grandiose house. We live in a nice house. Yes, we live in a very nice city. My mortgage is almost $3,300 a month. The second bill, my biggest bill, is my daughter's school. That's almost $24,000 a year. The third biggest bill would be my utility bill, which is usually $90 a month. Then you have your electricity bill, and that's usually around $130 a month. Then you have car payments. My husband's car is paid off, and my car, my new one, is about $300 a month, which is not a lot, I know. But then you have insurance. Our insurance is about $300 every single month. Extracurricular activities for my daughter, a couple $100 a month. Our grocery bill, we don't do like large hauls. We go like every couple days and get stuff, and I never had to budget it. We would just always go and buy it. And I broke it down this month, and we spend about $800 a month on groceries because we don't eat out and we make everything at home. And then we obviously have my housekeeper every week, so that's $600 a month. And then my dog gets groomed every 6 weeks, that's another $100. And that's not even including any of the extra things like shopping. I thrift most things. And I don't get my nails done. I don't get my hair done. I don't do spray tan. I don't do lashes. Yes, I do Botox. That's it. I don't buy makeup. All my makeup is sent to me for free. I don't know how families are dealing with the cost of living. It is scary. And like I said, my husband and I do well. But those are our bills. This is the first month we are going to be paycheck to paycheck. And I've never been like that my entire life. I'm worried. I'm legitimately worried. Usually everything just gets automatically taken out of our account on automatic payment. This time, I'm looking at my account and it's going to be close by the end of the month. I put everything on credit cards, but I always pay them off in full at the end of the month. I will not pay a dime of interest. But this month, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. Depends on how big my commission check's going to be. And I've never had to live like this before. I don't get it. My husband and I are both making more money than we've ever made. Why? I don't know how. It freaks me out to think about how other families live. Should we move to like West Virginia and just get a nice big house? All our expenses would be lowered. Property tax, $12,000 a year. It goes on, and I'm nervous this month.
Yeah, so just so y'all know, she got roasted in the comments because she said she's living paycheck to paycheck. I would disagree with her because she's got things that she can pull out of her budget, like dog grooming and activities for the kids, house cleaning at $600 a month, and $24,000 a year, which is insane for a private school for her daughter. Those are things most people do not have money for. When you look at this in totality, she's doing all right. She's just feeling the pressures of the cost of living going up, which is exactly what we're all dealing with. If you have all these expenses and then all of a sudden everything's going up 10%, like she said, her taxes are $1,000 a month on her house, which is wild. All that stuff has been going up. And these are realities of living in America and really living anywhere. Here's some comments. When you said housekeeping every week, you have a housekeeper coming, private school, housekeeper, extracurricular activities are not bills. They are expenses, but they're not bills.
How are people affording life right now? How are people tackling this cost of living?
Personally, I'm not. I had to move out of San Diego. I'm from Southern California, but it's too expensive. Even with full-time work, I had 2 full-time jobs, working on the weekends and at night and in the morning. I still couldn't save up enough money for a deposit for a studio apartment or anything, frankly. So I had to make a change. Right there is the border wall with Mexico and the United States. One side is San Diego, one side is Tijuana. Now I live on the Tijuana side. While the difference is only 2 blocks, I have a substantially cheaper cost of living. Currently, I'm renting a studio apartment for about $100 a week. I've seen comparable places going as far as a 2-bedroom with the same price point, $400 or $500 a month. The same kind of place in San Diego, 2 blocks away, would cost you upwards of $1,500 to $3,000. I cross the border in the morning. A few times a week, I do Amazon Flex shifts, and in about 2 full-time days, I pay my rent for the month. I don't go every day because it's kind of a headache. So while I technically earn less, I have a greater purchasing power. 5 months ago, I moved to Tijuana and went from being full-time employed with 2 jobs, living in my van for years because I couldn't save the deposit, to having an apartment and transportation and a decent paying job relative to my cost of living. But isn't it dangerous? Isn't it unsafe? A little bit, it can be. But literally, as I'm saying that, the police roll by. There's constantly a presence, so it does feel a little bit safe for that reason. Living in your car is not safe either. You're harassed all the time. You're bothered by strangers trying to steal your stuff. That's not a good life either. While it's not a perfect solution, it's a solution for now, and it works. I've improved my quality of life by moving 2 blocks.
So that's some location arbitrage. I mean, he's able to cross the border, get a cheaper place. Not everybody has that option, but it is an interesting one when Americans are resorting to having to live across the border in a place like Tijuana, which could be very unsafe. We know there's some issues there, but that's what he's got to do. And to his point, having a place to stay is probably better than living in your car. He's having to work less and is able to afford more. So there's a definite benefit there. Also, a lot of folks who work remotely, I've been seeing, a lot of videos on TikTok of folks going to lower cost of living countries. So places in South America, places in Asia, Africa. And you can do that and afford to live a much better lifestyle because you're still making U.S. pay. So that's an option some people are taking advantage of. Some of the comments on that one: we are all eventually going to end up in other countries. We are being priced out. That's the dream. Mexico rent, American pay. Always wanted to do this. Dollar Tree increasing prices to $1.75 is huge. Poor people relied on Dollar Tree. Now what? Yeah, it is interesting. Even Dollar Tree is not $1 anymore.
I'm going to explain to you guys how much more expensive things are today than they were even 3 years ago based off of my current financial situation. 4 years ago, when I graduated law school, I graduated making $65,000 a year. I was living in a 1-bedroom by myself, paying $1,400 a month. After the first 3 months, my boyfriend moved in, and so then we were splitting it, so it was $700 apiece. But he lost his job at one point, and so for 3 months before he got a new one, I was covering the rent all by myself. So it was about 6 months of me paying $1,400 a month for that year-long lease. Now I make about $85,000 a year. I have 2 roommates, and we split the rent 3 ways. And usually my rent is like $950, something around that. So I'm making technically $20,000 more a year. I'm paying roughly the same of what I was paying in rent. And I have never been more stressed out about money in my entire life.
Yeah, she's an attorney. She's splitting her place with 3 other people. Having roommates is a good option, especially whenever the rent prices, housing prices have gone up so much. It makes a lot of sense. That's another thing that a lot of Americans are resorting to. But even with her making $20,000 more per year, feeling more stressed out now than she was making less money is a very interesting scenario. It's unfortunate.
How do people afford to live? I am leaving Costco with 6 items, $165 for 6 things. But my heart goes out to all you moms and dads who are raising families and trying to feed your kids. I don't have any college educations to pay for. 6 items, $165. How are families making it and surviving in this day and age? Holy cow.
I don't know how many of y'all go to Costco or Sam's on a regular basis, but I never leave that place without spending $300-400. Used to be you could get out and it felt like it was $100, $150, and it's more than double that now. And you don't even always feel like you're getting a lot. I mean, it is insane.
Bro, if I knew how bad the economy was going to be up to date, I wouldn't have been riding no bikes, playing no video games. I would have bought a house when I was 10. They did a study based on today's economy. Like, what should minimum wage be based on today's economy to make sure an American is comfortable living a day-to-day life? Do you know how much they say you need to make an hour to be comfortable around this? $66 an hour, bro. You make $66 an hour. You work 40 hours a week. At the end of the month, guess how much you gonna have in whole? 10 bands. Oh no, but don't think you taking the whole 10 bands. You forgot about Uncle Sam. You're going home with 6,500. Maybe a 7-ball if you lucky. Okay, so eliminate all the bills and life expenses from that 6,500. You left, even making $66 an hour after paying all their bills and life expenses at the end of the month, they only gonna be able to save a band or 2 a month. So regular like me and you was just cooked. At this point, we just on the internet seeing who can be po better. Who can be best at being po.
Who could be best at being po? Yeah, I don't know, but it is wild to think about. If you make $10,000 a month, you only bring home $65,000, and then after all your expenses, you might be able to save $1,000. It certainly feels like it.
How is it possible that every single city in the world right now, it seems, is going through a housing crisis? You hear the same stories all the time. There's not enough jobs, the jobs that do exist don't pay enough, and nobody can afford rent. It seems like this is a global issue, not just here in the States. And I'm wondering, how can this continue? Is it going to be the same 5 years from now?
Might be. And We really don't know, but he's right. This is all over the place. I've seen a lot of videos from all over the world, people complaining about how prices are going up. A lot of it, I think, in the States is corporations buying houses and driving prices up over the last 6 years. Now we're stuck with high prices. We've seen in some areas prices have started to go down on homes, but in order for it to feel affordable, they're going to have to go down considerably. I really doubt that'll happen. If I got any folks listening that are in real estate and you have some insights, throw them down below because I'd love to hear them.
Is everybody broke right now? Like everybody? Are we all in tight spots right now? Like, and when I say broke, I don't mean like dead ass broke. I mean like you paying your bills, you good, you okay there, but like you one unexpected bill away from blowing a head gasket. I'm tired. Why am I working so hard and seeing so little? And look, that's not me being ungrateful, because I want to take the time to say I'm absolutely grateful for everything that I have. I have a home, I have a car, I have healthy children, I'm healthy myself, husband's healthy. I have a lot to be grateful for. But what is going on? Can anybody plug me in on what's going on in society, in economy right now? Like, why is it so hard right now? How come every time I get my check, this is gone? I'm showing up as the best version of myself. And right now, it's not the best version of myself, but relax, be cool. Y'all see me on here. Y'all know how it can get. Leave me alone. I felt it necessary to come on here and ask, am I the only one struggling? I'm thinking of 99 ways on a daily basis on how I'm going to get rich. This is crazy. I see folks out here on yachts and taking trips and doing this, and I want to take a trip. Can I take a trip? I need about 3 trips. I think I'm overdue for about 3 trips. I'm tired. We got Christmas coming up. Kids want to celebrate Halloween. Need a costume for that. And why the hell are the costumes so damn high? Can anybody tell me that? Why are costumes $80 for a damn top or bottom that's damn near a material that'll rip up in a minute, and a damn wig? Why is it $80? I'm tired. Y'all are making everything high. Somebody come get me, because somebody, you hear me? Because I'm tired. Love y'all. Bye.
So that's a fun little rant. And I think she's right, though. A lot of people are feeling that. She mentioned several things I want to call out. Halloween prices are insane. A little hack. That might be too late this year, but a day, 2, 3 days after Halloween, if you go to Walmart, everything goes on clearance. You can save a ton of money. It's like 50 to 90% off, depending on what you want. I took advantage of that a few years ago and just got a handful of random things, and we use that stuff now to make up costumes. The other thing she mentioned was trips and people on yachts. Be careful, guys. One of the biggest problems in my mind with social media is it lets you see what everybody else is doing, and then they want to compete. So you've got people competing with folks that have a lot of disposable income, and they're competing using credit cards. They're going on cool vacations in debt. It makes people who are really broke feel like, hey, I need to be going on vacations like this because my friend who makes similar money to me is going on this fancy vacation. They're going to Disney. They're going to the beach. They're staying in this all-inclusive resort. Guys, most of those people are going into debt. Don't let that fool you, okay? Don't get into that hype, all right? You need to save money and then go whenever you can afford it, which might not be this year. Do a staycation, go to a park. There's all kinds of things you can do that are local to you, no matter where you live. You can have fun with your family on the cheap. So don't buy into all the hype. Don't feel like you got to keep up. But you can take a vacation if you save enough money and do it smart. Some comments on this one. You are not alone. I'm seriously debating on just not paying my car payment or insurance anymore. It's either that or have no money for groceries. I'm tired too. Don't just stop paying your car payment. Sell it, pay it off, and do it right. Otherwise, you're going to make things even more difficult on yourself. I'm a single mom. I'm doing it all by myself. And girl, I'm hanging in by a thread. I lose sleep over it. I don't even know if I'm going to make Christmas for my kids and no vacation in my future. That one is sad. And I'm sorry for anybody dealing with that, where you're losing sleep over it, you're struggling, you're not able to give Christmas to your kids. I will say this. Try your best to get a better paying job, okay? Because if you really are living as cheap as you can and you can't make it, then that means you have an income problem. You need to work on getting a better job. Try to get a side hustle or two, all right? It may just be for a little while, but you got to get yourself first out of debt and then get yourself an emergency fund. That way you have some padding. And then you can start doing things like affording Christmas for your kids. That is a really tough spot to be in, but you're going to have to do the work to get out of it, and it's going to be difficult. But put it in. Don't lose sleep over it. Just be intentional.
It's not the overspending, it's the cost of living. Here is a breakdown of the average Gen Z and millennials' cost of living in today's world. So number one is rent. Everyone knows that Gen Z and millennials have to have a roommate. So splitting a 2-bedroom apartment with utilities is around $1,500. If you have a car, a $12,000 to $15,000 used car is still going to run you $400. Car insurance and gas is another $300. Student loan payment, $500. You're going to have groceries for $500. You're going to have personal care, doctor's appointments, hair, gym, about $150, and then cell phone and miscellaneous $150. That's $3,500 a month, which is baseline. Do you know how much $3,500 a month is? $70,000 a year, or $34 an hour. Because after you take out taxes, put $300 for health insurance, and do a healthy $500 401k contribution, that leaves you with $3,500. This is no fun, no savings, no maintenance, no clothes, no kids, no traveling, no vacations, no bachelor parties, no weddings, no funerals, no clothes, no school supplies, nothing. And this is paycheck to paycheck. And on top of it, they're holding $40,000 of student loan debt, a $15,000 car, and if they ever wanted to buy a house with closing costs and the down payments, another $50,000. So they need $105,000. So even if they were somehow able to scrounge up after $70,000 of paycheck to paycheck, $5,000 to go to a concert, to have avocado toast, whatever it is, $5,000 a year, it would take them 20 years to pay off this debt and save up for a house. 20 years of living with the roommate where that rent's going up, and they're making $70,000 a year as a college graduate. The average person in this country makes $50,000. It is not the overspending. It is a cost of living crisis.
When he puts it like that, it does sound incredibly difficult. But I would say there's some things on there that you can eliminate. You can sell that car with the $400 payment, get something cheaper. Okay, you can get a $10,000 car that's paid off. I have that right now. I have a Toyota Camry that's 10 years old. It has 130,000 miles on it. It runs like a champ. Only money I have to spend on it is oil changes and gas. I had to put brakes on it a year or two ago, but just regular maintenance, guys. You don't need anything fancy. It gets me to and from where I'm going the same way that a Tesla would, all right? And I don't have a car payment. Do things like that in order to drive down your expenses. His grocery bill is $500 for one person, seems incredibly high. But you can cut and then save for a while and get into a better spot. I don't think his numbers are too far off. Things are tough. It's the reality.
Man, I don't know what y'all talking about. The cost of living is not that bad. I mean, I can go get a $500,000 house right now, and it's not even all the way in the hood. Just slightly. I can go to the store right now and spend $300 on groceries and leave with at least 3 half-filled bags. I can go get a brand new car right now, and I probably won't spend more than a year's income on it. Maybe 2. Like, what are people spending all their money on? The rent is only half your income. The car is only another quarter. The food is another quarter. And then you got phone bill. Wait, somebody was telling me, oh, the minimum wage shouldn't be $7.25. How much y'all want? Y'all being greedy now? Just think about it. You work 40 hours a week. You make $7.25 an hour. You got all the money you need. My dad worked security all his life and couldn't have made more than $15 an hour. And he was able to have a house, a car, and raise 2 kids. Why can't we do the same? The way I see it, ain't a damn thing wrong with the cost of living. I don't care if the average American is struggling, living paycheck to paycheck. Pull your damn self up by your bootstraps.
Hopefully I got a good laugh out of that. I mean, it is something we got to make light out of from time to time. But guys, I hope you really enjoyed today's video. If you got anything out of it, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. That way you can get notified when we put out new content on Mondays and Thursdays. And if you know anyone who you think would be interested in this type of content, please share it. We'll see you next time.